I'm Clint, but my friends just call me Toz, which is really just my last name shortened. I've always wanted to be an athlete and a filmmaker, and although I'm nowhere close right now, this is the document my journey. So coming to you guys from my kitchen today. I'm sorry that it's a little dirty. This camera captures everything in 4K, so I'm really exposing myself here. But I'm doing a little modification to my goggles today that I thought you guys might find interesting, so I figured I'd film it and take you along with me for the journey, because I don't even really know what's going to happen here. Anyway, a little bit of a story time in why I'm doing this. Essentially, I got some black dye, and I'm going to dye my goggle straps. And the reason for that is I had my first sponsorship with this company, or it was supposed to be my first sponsorship, I should say, and I will just say that working with them was a bit of a learning lesson for me, and I will definitely take those lessons into the future with my future sponsorship deals. I will take many, many lessons from working with them. So anyway, because of the many lessons I learned with this company, I don't feel like giving them any free promo, but I do actually really like their goggles. They're not very expensive, and they sent me like 4 of them. So I figure, why not dye the strap black, and then I won't be giving them free promo anymore. So I already kind of tried to do it with this one, and you can see, yeah, you guys can barely see that. That was white before, and now obviously it's like that kind of dark almost gray. But with this, I just painted the dye on. So I took a little brush and just kind of painted it. I didn't realize that this is the type of dye where you heat it on the stove and dip the goggle bands in. So today we're going to try that with both of these and see what happens. And hopefully they'll dye out enough that you can't see the logo anymore. You guys can probably tell from my most recent Instagram post that I actually photoshopped out this logo, or maybe you guys didn't even notice. It was pretty incognito, but I'll throw photos here so you guys can see, but I actually photoshopped out the logo, and that's kind of what gave me the idea to do this. I was like, why don't I just get rid of the logo? So anyway, I'm going to move the camera around, get a better angle of this, but then let's get to dyeing. So the directions say to wash whatever you're dyeing before you do. I'm not going to wash these, I'm going to be honest, but what I am going to do, and what I just figured out I could do about 20 seconds, calm down, 20 seconds before I started this clip was, you can pull the strap off of the foam piece of the goggle here. So right there, boom. So I'm going to separate the straps from the actual foam front part of the mask piece, and then I'll be able to just toss them in this bowl to dye. Okay, both my straps are now unhooked, and it says to add a little bit of dish detergent, which I think is kind of weird, but I'm going to follow the instructions because last time I didn't, and it didn't work out too well. So just a little splash of that. And then I've been boiling some water, as I'm sure you guys could hear in the earlier clip. So I've got boiling water here. I'm going to add a little bit of dye. The recommendation is something like 4 ounces for every pound of fabric. So it says 2 adult large t-shirts, use half the bottle. That is not very much, so I'm just going to add basically a splash. 2 shots of vodka.
2 shots of vodka.
Okay, then the hot water. And I'm going to stir that in, not with my hands because I don't want to dye them, but I'm going to stir that in, and then it says let it sit for like 30 to 60 minutes. So I'm going to come check back in 30 minutes. God, my sink looks so dirty on camera. Excuse that, but it's been about 30 minutes, and now these things are looking dark. I don't want to dump out the dye yet because we might want to go a little longer. I'm not sure. So let's just see how one of these looks before... Wow, that's dark. Before I do anything crazy. Oh, wow. Wow, you wouldn't even know there's a logo on there. My hands are so totally going to get dyed. You're definitely supposed to wear gloves for this. Wow, okay, so let's check out... I don't even know if this is the gray one or the black one. Let's check out what happens if we rinse it a little bit. Wow, both of these turned out amazing. Look at that. And even after rinsing off, you know, the majority of the dye that's kind of sitting on the exterior with cold water here, I mean, you guys probably can't see that on, oh, I'm holding it too low. You guys probably can't see that on camera, but you can't even really tell there's a logo. I can tell there's letters there, but man, turned out much better than I thought it was going to. Okay, I'm gonna get these all washed up and then I'll put the goggles back together and show you guys the final product. So I just put the goggles all together and they look so sick, like actually so sick. So I tossed on my mask. I'm gonna toss on my helmet and my jacket, take a few cinematics just so you guys can kind of get the idea of what these look like. But I am so hyped. This is like better than what I could have imagined. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys right now.
I'm walking through the forest by the lake, searching, trying to find a trace. I'm calling, shouting.
So I feel like I need to give this this dye brand a shout out because I didn't really at the beginning. I didn't think it was gonna matter, but RIT, R-I-T, it was on Amazon. It was like $8. I used probably less than a quarter of the dye doing both goggles. So, I mean, really a splash I probably had too much dye in there. Really a splash goes a long way. But yeah, I think these turned out, let me grab the other ones. I think personally that these turned out pretty money. And like I was trying to show in the sink earlier, you can see the logo a little bit. Man, it's really hard to see on camera. You can see it a tiny bit in person. You can see the outline of kind of the stitching. Maybe you guys, yeah. So see how you can kind of see that falcon in person? Oh, there we go. Now you're kind of seeing it. So you can kind of see the stitching, but man, I mean, when you're actually wearing your fit and you're here, you can't see it. I mean, you gotta be really, really up close to actually be able to see that. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully helped at least one of you guys out with debranding your goggles. And pretty cheap option to do it, if I'm being honest.
Desperate time.